Neil Monroe stars as Quentin Nickles in The Saddlebags Mystery with Sarah Orenstein and Peter Millard.
Keep still, child!
Get out! Leave us alone! I'll call for the police!
Where are they?
Who are you? What do you want?
Never mind the questions. Now, on the Davenport where I can see you.
No! Don't touch my baby!
We want your papers.
What papers?
Letters, journals, documents. Keep looking, boys! They're here somewhere! You sit still and maybe you won't be hurt.
She lives in Hamilton. The letter came in yesterday's post.
Specifically asking for my help.
Yes. We were very good friends at one time, but lost track of each other. Then she reads about your cases and my involvement and asked if I could persuade you to look into the matter.
Abby, why would three men, professionals by the sound of it, invade and search your friend's home but not take anything?
I don't know. Belle isn't rich. Her letter says she and her daughter barely get by.
And what about her husband?
That's why she's so frightened. Last month, she came home one night, found the front door open, and David, her husband, dead on the parlor floor with a broken neck.
Good Lord.
Police said he tripped and fell. An accident. But then she found her house had been searched, and now this.
Well, what did the Hamilton police say this time?
Oh, they're treating her as if she's daft. That's why she wrote me.
Yes, and you're sure she's not addled?
No. Will you help? I am looking forward to seeing Belle. I just wish it were under better circumstances.
We'll make things right. I must admit, I've no patience for people who victimize women.
I detect something in your tone, Inspector.
Small wonder, Abby. You ever heard of a malefactor named Jack? No? Think back about 7 years. Specifically, August 31st, 1888, a sad case named Mary Ann Nichols, known as Polly. Happened in London, but I suspect the papers carried it here as well. It's the kind of memory one tends to carry. Always.
Bastard. Look at that, Nichols. What kind of animal would do such a thing?
Only a human animal, Sir Leonard. Deranged at best.
Poor woman. Dr. Llewellyn says the wounds are almost surgical in their precision.
Yes, any witnesses?
No, just two men. Charles Cross and Robert Paul, who found the body. But they saw nothing. Not surprising in this fog.
I spoke to Neil. He says she's likely a prostitute. They're trying to find out her name. Where are we here? Bucks Row?
Yes. Nichols, call it intuition, an old policeman's instinct. But I think this is the beginning of something bad.
Oh, not to worry, sir. I'm sure it's an isolated incident. After all, it is a debauched part of London, full of layabouts and rapscallions.
Now, don't be callous, Nichols. They are all entitled to the Queen's protection, and we are here to provide it.
Yeah, sorry, sir. It's just when I see a young woman lying in an alley, gutted like a fish and covered with flies, I tend to question the evolutionary level of people who frequent this area.
They are not society's highest, I grant you. But even they are shocked by this. What are you looking for?
Hello. What have we here?
What have you found?
Here, a silver button by the looks. And I'd say it comes off a gentleman's coat.
Stained with blood. Good work, Nichols.
Well, someone would have found it eventually, sir. Our first clue to the murderer.
Oh, my heaven.
What is it, Sir Leonard?
Oh, nothing, Nichols. I'll just hang on to this for a while.
Well, may I have another look at it, Superintendent?
We must keep mum about this, Nichols. At least it must...
Silver button.
Closer, Nichols. Not button. It's a silver...
Quit about...
Oh, I was thinking back to the first... Superintendent Cochrane. 5 horrible... Ripper. Described 14. heavy drink. Explained her staggering about Whitechapel at 3 o'clock in the morning.
I had no idea you were involved in investigating them.
Well, actually, there was a concerted effort to keep me away from the case. A successful one, I might add.
What?
I asked the wrong questions. Some said. You see, I believed member of the royal family might have been involved.
Ooh, hardly a popular theory, I would think.
Well, I believe one must follow every lead, no matter how uncomfortable it might be. My superiors, of course, thought otherwise.
And they're still at Scotland Yard.
Yes, and I am on a train to Hamilton.
Oh, Abby. Everything's so terrible.
Tragedy always seems to strike hardest when we're at our weakest.
I'm not weak. Far from it. I've been a widow for a month and I've learned. God, how I've learned. But you probably wouldn't understand the difference between tragedy and terror. One at a time is bearable, but the two together. I just want to strike back. To hit out at...
That's the idea, Belle. Get angry. It's one of the strongest weapons we have as women, to survive.
Well, that's easy to say when you're secure and successful.
You lost a husband. But I lost 2 parents when I was 12, and I was angry. It drove me to be my own protector, not a victim. I found over time that most women have that in them. Oh, some show it strangely. But basically, we survive. If men were faced with the same sort of subjugation, a lot of them would curl up and die. My anger led me to education and beyond. I sometimes think I went into medicine as a way to keep the fight alive.
You sound so hard.
I had to face down arrogant fools at medical school and on medical boards, and husbands of patients who used terror to control their wives, and then went on to denigrate my abilities.
Oh, Abby, I didn't mean to upset you, to be rude.
No, Belle. It's I who should apologize. I'm sorry.
Are you happy, Abby? I mean, I guess... Do you like who you are?
Oh, yes, Belle. I truly do. And I am. It's not perfect, but I'm going to get as close as a person can.
Does your inspector have a place in this?
Oh, well, it's a little more complicated than that, and...
Inspector Nickles.
Ladies, these 3 men, Belle, can you describe them?
Yes, easily. They weren't even wearing masks. And they acted as though they had a perfect right to do what they wanted. All were over 6 feet with handlebar mustaches and wore black suits with starched collars and ties. And, oh yes, one had a terrible scar over his right eyebrow.
Anything else?
No. Oh, but they kept asking about papers. When I asked what papers... They acted as if they'd said too much and just went on with their search.
That's interesting.
I understand your curiosity, Inspector Nickles.
Yes. I mentioned the name of Belle Stratton to the desk sergeant, and suddenly I'm talking to the chief. It's Nibs, isn't it?
Yes, Nibs. His Nibs, the royal Nibs, I get it all. But to answer your original question, we certainly did investigate. The story sounded so queer, however, that we wondered if she were suffering delusions. Widow, you know.
So tell me, was her husband's death delusion?
No, of course not. But that's an entirely separate matter. Though she claimed a burglary then, too, with nothing missing.
What was the official cause of death?
Tripped on a carpet, fell into the fireplace, broke his neck. Ceased to breathe, suffocated.
Oh, that must have been some feat.
Feet?
I meant fall. Anyhow, thank you.
So you will be returning to Toronto?
Soon, but first I must review some papers Mrs. Stratton wants me to see. No idea what they are. Well, thank you again, Chief Nibs. What is it?
Inspector! Quentin! Open up!
Oh, heavens. It's the middle of the night, Abby.
It's Belle! Her home has been invaded again. She's in a terrible state.
damn and drat. It's my fault. Where's my trousers?
I'm sure I don't know. What do you mean, your fault?
Oh, something I tossed out before leaving the police station. It's on a whim, really. I had no idea they'd react so quickly.
Who?
I've no idea. It's just like King's Cross in here. Get that, Abby, will
Yes.
you? Well, I find these blasted pants. They keep moving about as if they're alive. Yeah, what is it?
A telegram.
Well, read it.
It's from Chief Constable Lemon. You are to cease all further inquiries in Hamilton. Stop. Return to Toronto for reassignment. Stop. Lemon.
Well. Haven't we stirred the hornet's nest?
Oh, Belle, I'm so sorry.
They twisted the baby's arm.
Oh.
And I thought they'd kill us this time for sure.
Blackguards. And the police?
Oh, come and gone. They're out looking for the 3 men.
Let me guess, they didn't take anything again.
Yes, they did. They took my father-in-law's trunk from the attic.
Father-in-law's trunk? Where is he?
Oh, well, Frank Stratton has been dead for almost 20 years.
Why would anyone want his trunk? Unless... Do you know what it contained?
Just some of his war relics and clothes. He was buried in his uniform, with his saddlebags. A gift from his wife that he carried throughout his military career. Excuse me a moment.
Yes.
He was a soldier?
U.S. Cavalry. He fought in the Great Sioux War and died at the Battle of Little Bighorn with General Custer. You've heard of Custer's last stand?
No, not really.
Well, I have. Evening, man.
Who are you?
Wellington, what on earth are you doing here?
Oh, seeing what sort of havoc you're creating. I was at your office yesterday in Toronto and heard old Lemon Puss complaining about you getting him into hot water again. Whatever's going on, they want you out of here.
And who is they?
I don't know. But I figured if they want you to stop something, you'll keep doing it. And there's a story in that. So why are we going to Stony Creek?
Because the beat coppers said 3 men matching the robbers' descriptions jumped into a carriage and headed southeast from Hamilton. The only town this way is Stony Creek.
Well, what do you do if we find them?
That's a fair question. At the very least, I shall suggest they accompany us back to Hamilton for questioning. At most, I shall place them under arrest for burglary and assault.
And if they don't wish to come quietly?
But that's where you come in, my fine fellow.
But I'm not armed.
Yes, you always say that, and invariably you are.
You're getting to know me too well, Inspector.
The Stony Creek Hotel appears to be quite stylish. Here's your key, Wellington.
Oh, for a nice hot bath.
Not yet, my friend. People are coming down to dinner. Let's just sit here in the lobby and read the papers for a while, and we'll see... Look.
What, the fellow with the mustache? If you go after every man with a mustache, you'll be arresting half the town.
Yes, but he's 6'3" if he's an inch, has the scar, and is dressed in a black suit, as are those other 2 chaps coming down the stairs. Let's see if they know each other.
Birds of a feather, Inspector. They're heading into the dining room. And I'll bet you feel a powerful hunger about now.
Yes, right you are. And we know them, but they don't know us. A distinct advantage. Come on. Table for 2, please. Over there, my good man.
Not close enough to hear them, Inspector.
No, unfortunately not. Still, let's see what we can learn from observation.
Well, they look pretty stern.
Yes, and that's good news. Since there's no air of celebration, I suspect they still may not have what they want. And I tell you one thing. These men are not your regular thieves. Bell was right. They have an official air about them. Quick, Wellington, give me your hat.
What are you going to do with it?
Just give it to me, man.
Why, Inspector, now you look like a regular desperado.
Never mind that. You're okay, but he knows me.
Who?
Chief Nibs, the Hamilton chief of police, has just sat down with our quarry. And he seems quite chummy with them.
So you were right.
Yes, a fish always rots from the head. Now we know why Bell's not getting police help. Now, wait a minute. The one with the scar's getting up with a cigar in his hand. He may be going outside to smoke it, for the ladies' sake.
Oh, what do you want me to do?
I'll go out and strike up a conversation, wait 2 minutes, and follow me out in case things aren't going as planned.
All right, be careful, Inspector. That fellow looks very capable to me.
That's why I carry an equalizer, Wellington. Makes me 6'3" and a half. Look at those stars.
Huh? Yeah,
Are you from around here, sir?
maybe.
Been here long?
Maybe.
Business?
Maybe.
You know, my friend, in my line of work, I ask a lot of questions, but I try my best to be civilized, accord people their rights of privacy. But sometimes when I'm tired, as I am now, I just take a more direct tact. Now, give me your wallet.
Whoa, hey there, partner. Put that gun up. You don't know who I am.
No, but I will when you hand me your wallet. Now, give it here, or I'll shoot you where you stand. Thank you.
Inspector, everything all right?
Yes. Marcus Slade, National Detective Agency.
A Pinkerton man? From where?
Washington, and you're both in a lot of trouble unless you put up that gun and get out of here.
Not quite, Slade. You're not dealing with little girls now.
You stupid!
Look out! Thank you, Wellington. That Colt of yours has administered more anesthetic than Dr. Lapierre.
Excuse me, gentlemen. I'm Sergeant Morgan of the Dominion Police. Is that Detective Slade of the Pinkerton National Detective Agency down there?
Maybe.
And you are?
I am Inspector Nickles of the Ontario Constabulary, and this is my associate, Daniel Wellington. We are investigating several burglaries and assaults in Hamilton.
Official business, is it?
Yes, this man is a prime suspect in my case, and I don't care who he is. Satisfied, Sergeant?
Oh, quite, sir. Would you and Mr. Wellington please place your wrists forward? You're both under arrest.
Well, Inspector, seeing a jail cell from the inside must be a unique experience for you.
You'd be surprised. I've graced several European cells. Oh, here's our friend back. Good morning, Sergeant.
You're free to go.
After you explain why the Dominion Police is running a cell block for the Hamilton Constabulary, then I'll go.
That's none of your business.
Chief Constable Lemon and Chief Nibs, to what do we owe this pleasure?
You are to return to Toronto at once and resume your regular duties.
Sir, Mrs. Stratton has been terrorized, threatened, and assaulted, as has been her daughter by those Pinkerton men. Now, the last time I looked, we did not allow marauding foreigners free access to subjects of Her Majesty.
Inspector, this investigation will go no further. Mrs. Stratton will not be bothered again, I assure you. That is all you need to know.
Are those men under arrest?
Never mind.
Find the papers.
No. That is, you will take the first train back to Toronto. This case is closed. Do I make myself clear?
Abundantly.
I don't know how to thank you enough.
Although they've assured me you won't be bothered again, we have no guarantee. Apparently they haven't found what they were looking for. All we know is that they're looking for papers of some sort. Since there were Pinkerton men from Washington involved, they must be of importance to the U.S. government. And since the Dominion Police are involved, we must assume that Ottawa is collaborating in the search for these papers. Now, can you tell me anything else about your father-in-law, other than the fact that he was in the cavalry?
No, Inspector. He was a major in the 7th Cavalry. That's about all I know. And now they've taken everything that belonged to him. Except his saddlebags, of course. They'll never find them. They were buried with him.
He's buried in Hamilton.
Quentin, it's against the law to disturb a grave.
I'm an officer of the law, Abby. And I know it's illegal. That's why we'll dig at night. Were the saddlebags inside the coffin, Belle?
No, I believe it was something Mother Stratton thought about at the last moment.
Oh, well, good. We shan't disturb him, then. Shine the lantern down here.
Yes, all right.
Hold it. I've hit something. Pieces of wood. There doesn't appear to be much left. Oh, wait. I found the saddlebag. They're rotting.
Anything inside? Pass them up.
Well, Inspector, you've been reading those papers for more than an hour.
Yeah. Well, I can certainly see why the American government would not wish them to fall into the wrong hands. They're a virtual condemnation of a policy of double-dealing and treachery against the American Indian, in particular the Lakota Sioux. After signing the Treaty of Fort Laramie in 1868, a treaty that gave the Sioux the Black Hills of South Dakota and Wyoming as the Great Sioux Reservation, the U.S. government sent Custer and prospectors in there. They found gold, and the government tried to buy the land back from the Sioux, but when they failed to come to terms, they declared all Indians found in the hills to be hostile. That led to an Indian uprising and battles like Little Bighorn.
Yeah, but that's pretty much history. Why is it so important now?
Yes, well, because there are dispatches and letters in here from some pretty big names in Washington. Look at this one. Oh. And this one?
My.
And see here who the Indian agent was. And they ordered to massacre this village, take no prisoners. That means women and children. And see who signed it.
Why, he's up for election to the Senate.
Right. And here's a copy of a letter written by Bell's father-in-law to the Indian Bureau, saying he had those original dispatches and letters and requesting permission to destroy them or return them for safekeeping. And he warns that they are potentially dangerous to many people.
The letter must have been unearthed during their policy research.
Leading to these attempts to recover the papers. If they ever came to light in the press, certain political careers would be in dire jeopardy.
So they decided to recover them in secret.
Except no one knew where they were. Till now.
Get your hands up.
Yeah.
We'll take those papers.
Detective Slade and henchman. I'd have thought you'd be on your way south, sir.
Inspector, you obviously fail to appreciate that your federal and provincial governments are cooperating fully with us. Prime Minister Laurier has promised President Cleveland all police forces are at our disposal. All except you, it appears.
Yes, well, perhaps I just don't like men who terrorize widows and little girls and murder their fathers.
We had a job to do. In retrospect, I guess he never knew where the papers were.
So you did kill him?
Regrettably. It was an unfortunate accident. We apologize to your government.
Well, that makes it all right, then.
Come on, gather them all up. We have to be at Niagara Falls Crossing by daybreak.
Well, since it seems we have to cooperate, who are you meeting, Mr. Slade?
Some very important people who've traveled all the way from Washington to get their hands on those papers. Thank you, gentlemen and ladies. We won't bother anyone again.
Oh, dear God! He killed my husband, and he's getting away with it!
I don't think there's anything Inspector Nickles can do.
They hold all the cards, right, Inspector? What are you thinking?
Nichols? Wellington, why are you here? Not to cause more trouble, I hope.
No. Merely to ensure that these people leave the country and never return.
Very well. Inspector, this is Special Envoy Granger of the U.S. government and his party. He is an assistant to President Cleveland.
Oh, charmed, I'm sure. What a party. American soldiers on Canadian land.
Thank you for your cooperation, Inspector Nichols.
I didn't cooperate. I feel this is a transgression against the sovereignty of Canada and a big mistake on the part of our government.
Well, I'm sorry you feel like that, but those papers are the property of the United States government. Major Frank Stratton, loyal soldier that he was, wanted to return them, but his letter got lost in the bureaucracy. I understand, to safeguard him, he even took him to his grave. I'll consider recommending him for a posthumous medal.
And you will see that his daughter-in-law receives a full pension.
I don't see why I would do that.
Well, I suspect you would do that because I hid 2 very damning letters before your Pinkerton men broke in.
You didn't.
Of course I did. One to President Grant, urging a genocide of the entire Sioux Nation, and a dispatch from General Crook acknowledging some brutal orders from someone now up for Senate confirmation. Another reason for Belle Stratton receiving a pension is that you murdered her husband.
Who was murdered?
Major Frank Stratton's son. When he couldn't tell Detective Slade where the papers were, they broke his neck.
It was an accident, sir.
Damn. I was against using a private agency to complete this mission. Well, I assure you, Inspector, Stratton's wife will receive a pension.
I believe you, sir. And well, as far as I'm concerned, everyone is free to go.
How good of you, Inspector Nichols.
Except Detective Slade, of course.
Inspector?
There's no way that man is leaving this country before he's tried for murder.
But that would bring everything out.
That is a problem.
I am not being left here.
Chief Nibbs, this is unexpected.
Sorry, Nichols. This is out of your hands.
Not really. Slade is a murderer. But I suppose the only place he could be tried, without it being made public, would be in a military court.
But he's not in the military.
Enlist him. Or leave him, one or the other. Oh, may I present Daniel Wellington, well-known author and also a reader of those documents. If Slade is not tried and sent to one of your military prisons, then Wellington and I will be collaborating on some very interesting journalistic endeavors.
I guess that enlistment could work.
Listen to me. I'm not staying, and I'm not joining any army, so you can jail me.
Oh, put up that revolver, Mr. Slade. There are 20 American soldiers with their rifles now trained on you.
Lieutenant Sheridan, take Private Slade into custody. He's charged with murdering a civilian, and he is to be sequestered from any and all personnel pending his trial.
Take your hands off me! Leave me alone! I'm not in your damn army! Stop! Ah! Oh!
Happy now, Inspector?
Yes. Of course, you could take him across the river and let him go, so Mrs. Stratton and I will expect to give evidence at his trial. It's a minor price for our silence.
Well, since you have those letters, Mr. Slade has become very much of a liability to our government. We'll take care of him, and the U.S. government is not in the habit of lying.
Yes, except to the Indians.
Before you criticize us, look at your own government.
Oh, I'm under no illusions about the Canadian government either, sir. As they say, power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely both sides of the border.
You're an unusual man, Inspector Nickles.
And so I've been told, sir, so I've been told.
A toast to Inspector Nickles.
Ah.
And to you, Abby, for not forgetting an old friend.
Remind me not to play poker with you, Inspector. I never saw such a smooth bluff. Slade was taken away squealing like a stuck pig.
A bluff? What bluff?
Well, I'm afraid the two letters I described as hidden only exist in my imagination.
You lied to the U.S. government.
Well, that would certainly seem to be the uncharitable view. However, I suspect I'm not the first, nor will I be the last to do so.
But what of your conscience?
I must take solace from the high-mindedness of my motives.
Oh, yes. Washington is almost obsessed with high-mindedness.
You